Okay, in this training course, we're going to teach you the basics of spreads. Spreads 101. If you are brand new to Nadex and brand new to Nadex spreads, this training course is for you. Starting at the very beginning of what is a spread, how does a spread work, the basics of spreads, and then building on it from there. At the beginning of this training course, the first video you're going to see is a copy of a radio show that Daryl had done and had placed some live trades using Nadex spreads. Now, the example of the trade he's going to show you first off here on the radio show is what we call an iron condor. Okay, that's a special trade that we do with Nadex spreads. I don't want you to get all wrapped up in the question of what is an iron condor and how does that work. Okay, that is something for you to learn later on. That is a strategy using Nadex spreads to collect premium, but that is something you'll want to learn to do later on. What you need to focus on during this webinar is getting down the basics of spreads. How do spreads work? Do I understand how spreads work tick for tick? Do I understand picking the right spread? And do I understand how to use spreads with a directional trade? For example, if I want to trade spreads like the underlying market and I want to use Nadex spreads to trade the iZone sharpshooter system. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed with some of the examples that are shown with the iron condors or when we talk about straddles and strangles. Don't get off course trying to find out what are those and how do those work. Those sound cool. You'll never be able to grasp those or trade those if you don't first of all understand the basics of Nadex spreads. Just some of the examples from the trade helps you understand some of the basics of spreads and helps you understand how spreads work, and mainly helps you understand how premium works with spreads. Okay, so going into this, I want you to be aware you're going to see some live trades, you're going to see some examples of some advanced trades. That's just to help you with an example to get the concept of premium and how spreads work. So what you need to be able to come out of this course with is an understanding of spreads, how they work, how to pick the right spread, and first of all, how to use spreads for directional trading. Meaning if you have a system like iZone sharpshooter that gives you clear defined entries to catch an uptrend or a downtrend of the market, how can I trade that system with Nadex spreads, and how can I know to choose the right spread? Once you master the basics and once you master directional trading with spreads using, for example, iZone sharpshooter, and you have that down and mastered it, you've got it mastered in demo, you've moved to a live account, you're trading live and have that mastered. Once you have those basics down, later on in the future you can add on more strategies if you want to learn how to do iron condors or learn what is a straddle, what is a strangle, and so on. Okay, so hop in, get ready to take some notes and pay close attention, and we will see you here at the end of this course. We're going to talk about the basics, then we're going to talk about some misconceptions. We're going to kind of compare the differences between binaries and spreads. We're going to talk about proximity and then finish up with premium.